Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Well, this video is going to be a little bit different because we're going to take a look at an article that has come out in the last couple of days, which is very interesting overall. I think is probably the best word to describe it. And this is what we got. So, AH has been exiled from Hollywood inside her post Johnny Depp life. So she's living a totally new life in Spain. Okay, good for her. So this was published yesterday, in fact on the 12th. It's been 2 years since she faced her ex-husband in her explosive court case, which ruled on allegations of all of this going through it. Obviously, we're not going to say these words. During that trial, the world bore witness to every detail of their volatile relationship. The case was sparked when Depp sued his ex-wife for defamation over an opinion article she wrote for the Washington Post, alleging she was this, though it did not mention him by name. No, but she said, I've just got out of this relationship. And who did she get out of a relationship with? You know, because obviously it wasn't going to be James Franco and it wasn't going to be Elon Musk that she mentioned. We knew for a fact, everyone knew, she was mentioning and talking about Johnny Depp. Obviously it goes on that after the almost 2 months long trial, jurors awarded Depp, who denied this, $15 million in compensatory and punitive damages. But obviously, it all started going down when she was like, I can't afford it. So $1 million was settled on, which she had to pay him. And that went to all the 5 charities. But now it's going on regarding the actual documentary, which was actually here in the UK first on Channel 4. But it's now trending on Netflix because, again, people are like, ooh, the documentary. Which Channel 4 is not exactly a great channel for doing things. They always like to misinterpret and they always like to put a spin on certain things. And obviously now it's on Netflix. People are watching this who haven't even seen the trial. And they're all like, oh my God, she was wronged. Watch the trial instead. Watch the 6-week trial, which we did every single day. We streamed for 11 to 12 hours a day of that trial. We had lawyers on everyone's channel. The lawyers were like, yeah, she's faking it. She's lying. This is going to go against her. This is going to happen. When you got lawyers stating all those facts, you know something bad's going to happen. But again, no. What we're going to look at by here is actually really funny. It's regarding like the lawyers and everything else. So, when the trial was airing, and in fact, almost ever since, she has found herself the subject of tremendous trolling on Twitter, now known as X, and other social media platforms. Yeah, a fascinating new podcast, Who Trolled Amber, has now alleged, after months of investigation, that at least 50% of the conversation around her had been inauthentically generated, meaning that they were devised by Depp supporters using automated bots to create mass online manipulation. Yeah, regarding that, so, obviously, we did all our own little things. We had people looking into this as well. And what happened? We've actually shown on this channel that people who support AH have multiple Twitter accounts. And they started replying to themselves. But they forgot to switch accounts. When people pulled them up on it, they deleted the tweet and put another tweet out with a different name. So, yeah, this Who Trolled Amber literally is one of the most bizarre things ever, because they're like, oh my God, people online, no, the trial was wrong. The evidence, that's not what happened. If you listen to that podcast, Who Trolled Amber, you can tell the people who are involved with it, which is actually some people who were behind the scenes for AH, they literally did not watch the trial. You can tell that, because they're bringing the things, and they're stating them as facts. And it's like, well, actually, no, that can be debunked because she said this in the trial. This is how bad it is. But it does go on a bit more. Yet the support for Depp hasn't just been seen online. It's very much apparent in the real world too. On the 9th of July, Depp was swarmed by fans in London, where he's currently living. Pirates of the Caribbean actor asked his security to step aside so he could greet them, even kissing one woman's hand. It's clear that despite shocking allegations of this, which has mirrored his last few years, his rehabilitation cannot be going better. No, because he has been justified that he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth all along. But because AH, who at the time, remember now who her lawyer was, Roberta Kaplan, who has just been outed as a serial person who is horrible to all the people she employed, that's the word, who she employed. Literally, she was being nasty to them. She was degrading them, making fun of their sex, making fun of everything. And it's like, wow, she's really for those people, aren't she? Yeah. Remember, birds of a feather flock together. That's what people need to remember. Now, it goes on about, obviously, she was, so what of her, while there's an awful lot of content being made about the Aquaman actress, we have heard very little from the 38-year-old herself. She did give an interview to US Morning Show today once the trial finished, where she addressed the hate she had received online. I don't care what one thinks about me, or what judgment you want to make about what happened in the privacy of my own home, in my marriage, behind closed doors. That's what she told the interviewer. I don't presume the average person should know these things, so I don't take it personally. Well, AH, sadly, you made it public. That's the problem. She said that these people, oh, I don't care what they think, we don't think this. So if you don't care what people think, why did you ring up TMZ and tell them you were going to be at a courthouse where you got an injunction against your husband? You don't care what people think, do you? No. You just want the world to be on your side, even if you are lying through your teeth. It goes on. She continued, even somebody who is sure I am deserving of all this hate and vitriol. Even if you think that I am lying, you still can look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. I could look you in the eyes and tell you exactly that there has been, because people who support you have done nothing but attack people. They have been finding people's exes and everything else and dragging them into it. That's fucking sick. Your fans are literally what you left in your bed for your husband. They are nothing but a pile of shit. They all are. Because you do not, when you ask them a question, you know, they put something out, you ask a question, or you bring a fact. What do they start doing? They start shouting and screaming, reeing at the top of their voice, trying to make you out to be the bad person. But they block you. Then they try and stalk you. Then they bring up photos. Oh, look at this. Look who this is. Ha ha ha. That is literally not what you're saying. It hasn't happened. You know? It's absolutely insane. She's living a life in Spain where she relocated immediately after trial. You know, first to Mallorca, then to Madrid, where she lives with a 3-year-old daughter. Yeah, okay. Going on with all of that. There was just too much chaos after the verdict, which fell mostly in favour of Depp. No, it all fell in favour of Depp. He didn't have to pay a single cent to her. And obviously she had to pay $1 million to Johnny Depp in a settlement. Last July she said she loves Spain so much. When asked if she plans to stay there, yes, I hope so. I love living here. Great, you know. If she's living there, great. If she's having the fun time raising a daughter, great. Let her get on with that. You know, but then obviously she was in the fire, attending a film festival in Sicily where no one went to watch it. Yeah. And as you can see by here, sources close to her tell Grazia that living in Spain, away from the US, and more importantly, Hollywood, is significant. Her isolation from the world in which she used to inhabit is quite jarring when you consider she's taken that step back because of the trauma and distress her marriage, the divorce, and the ensuing legal battle has caused her. She was once an A-list star. No, she wasn't. You take Aquaman off the actual film slate of what she's been in. What other big Hollywood A-list stars has she been with? You can't really count the Rum Diary because no one really knew who she was then. If you're an A-list star, you have got multiple films where you star in. She hasn't. This has taken a lot out of her to the point where she has lost passion for living that Hollywood life. If it has, you know, great, let her get on with it, you know? Another adds that having one of the most influential men in Hollywood as your enemy and ex makes life rather difficult for AH. Wow. One of the most influential men in Hollywood as your enemy. I'm pretty sure from 2016-17 onwards, he was ostracized because of her. Yeah? No? saying that the industry, for the exile from the industry in recent years, Depp has a lot of loyal friends and is hugely popular and powerful. AH knows that there are certain franchises and studios where she won't be welcome. Well, she did have, I should say, Warner Brothers, but they're not going to hire her now because obviously Aquaman is done. He was the star of last year's Cannes Film Festival thanks to his role in the French-language biopic Jean du Barry, in which he played King Louis XV. Depp is also directing his first movie in 25 years, working with Al Pacino on a biopic of Italian artist. A return to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise cannot be ruled out, with screenwriter producers of the highly successful film saying he wouldn't even hesitate to have Depp back on set. It's funny, when you have all of these people, Javier Bardem, Winona Ryder, Penelope Cruz, Saya, Rod Stewart, Eric Clapton, all these people, and his it's not his ex-wife, but his ex-partner, Vanessa Paradis, all supporting him. It's like, yeah, this is what's going on, and a lot of people just don't like it, that he was found innocent. And people will go, oh, the London result, they found out he was guilty. No, you had a judge who presided over it. Remember, she wasn't even a part of the court case. It wasn't against her. It was against that scum, Dan Wootton, and the Sun, Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Sun. The judge, his son, just so happens to work for Rupert Murdoch. Oh, look at that. We found a little bit of a connection. And then obviously we found more connections where the judge's wife was going out and having dinners with people, and AH just happened to be there. There's so many things like that. And again, the judge just went, oh, whatever the paper wrote, I agree with. That's it. Literally, that is a form of opinion. When Johnny Depp went for the appeal, the three judges, they stated, yeah, you were wrong in this, everything shouldn't have happened the way it did. They should have had the evidence from the police officers, which, remember now, Judge Nicole said, I don't want to speak with the police officers, the ones who attended everything, the ones who had body cam footage, which we've now analysed tons of it on this channel. It's absolutely just insane to see all these people, and to see that you still got people like this who are sticking up for a man. It's absolutely insane. But that's what we got, guys. It's interesting to see that 2 years after the trial, where a jury of her peers said she's guilty, she defamed him, she said all of this, and going by all the evidence that we've had, she lied. Even her therapist said she started the fights. He would go away. He would walk away. He would go to a different room just to get away from it because he didn't like confrontation. So you got all of that. But again, we're seeing so many people as well still online. We're seeing quite a few AH fans who, they just can't cope with it. It's almost like they're breaking down and they're having mental issues themselves, because some of the things they're coming out with, it's like, you should calm down. Maybe you should, take a couple of days or a couple of months off social media. Go outside, touch grass, get some air in you. Go and live your life. Go and have some fun. But instead, they're on Twitter X and they are just putting post after post after post of all this nonsense. The documentary said this. The documentary said that. Well, the actual trial said differently, and sadly, people will believe these documentaries because they are thick as shit and they are nothing but sheep. Let me know what you think about this all down below, folks. Until next time, if you are new, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.